Welcome to BBC News, and we've got breaking news from across the globe. I'm Johnny Davidson, joined by Elle Reeves and good old Johnson. Today we'll be focusing on three main stories: an airbag saves a man's life in what would have been a horrendous accident, a giant explosion in a small gas station in Moscow, Russia, and a monstrous bombing in Johnsonville, Wisconsin. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so our first story is about an airbag that saves a man's life in a car crash. And I'm going to be educating you on the chemical reactions behind the airbags. The chemical reaction of a motorcycle or car's airbags is called sodium azide, or NaN3. When a car crashes, sensors send an electric signal to an igniter. The heat generated from the igniter causes sodium azide to decompose into nitrogen gas and sodium metal, which inflates the airbags. Okay, the equation is right here, and the reaction type is decomposition. Okay, and I'm going to tell you about the pros and cons of airbags. Some pros are that it can prevent drivers' heads from slamming into the dashboard, which often leads to death. Airbags provide cushioning that saves many lives. I'm sorry about my co-worker here, he's kind of cracking up. Some cons: young children or small adults can be killed by airbags because of the force and speed that they have when they shoot out of the vehicle. But some cars have a feature that prevents this by turning off the airbags if the front passenger doesn't weigh enough to survive the airbag's impact. Thank you for listening to this story.
Thanks for that, Elle Reeves, and we've got some breaking news over here as well. A huge explosion has just occurred at a nearby gas station. No one has any confirmed injuries, but the damage is irreplaceable. Let's have a look at it now. Now, for those of you who don't know, explosions are fueled by gasoline's equation, and that looks like this. So when the carbon and hydrogen contained in the gasoline comes in contact with the oxygen, it reacts very quickly in the form of fire. It usually results in a huge pillar of flame or an explosion. What you get as a product is carbon dioxide and water vapor. Now for a little more on the pros and cons of gasoline combustion. Admittedly, there are not many pros. You alright there? Yeah, alright. Admittedly, there are not many pros, but our field crews managed to get one. When you start your car, there is controlled combustion that pumps the pistons. If not for that, none of you would be driving. But of course, there are many cons. The destructive nature of explosions and fires are reason enough, as you can see here. Unfortunately, there are not many ways to stop this, and although accidents like this are rare, the tragedy it brings is horrifying every time. Our thoughts and prayers are with all those affected, and we hope to see all things turn out okay. Now on to you, Johnson. What do you have for us?
Here we are in Johnsonville at the site of the explosion. It was a massive explosion that was caused by TNT. I'm going to explain what TNT is. TNT is a chemical compound that's used for explosives. Its formula is right here. And the reaction type of TNT is called combustion. Combustion is when particles go and, combust. And we're going to talk about some pros of TNT. TNT is used in industrial settings and also used in mines. When you demolish a building, you have to use TNT to take it out quickly so you can build a new one. And TNT is also used in hydraulic fracturing, which is used to recover oil and gas from shale. Cons. TNT is a poisonous compound. Skin contact can cause irritation, and the skin will turn a yellow-orangish color. For an extended time of being exposed to TNT, people will experience anemia and abnormal liver functions. TNT explosions can cause death, whether it's accidental or not. We think that this is a non-accidental explosion, and we think all the deaths caused here are intentional. Our thoughts and prayers remain to go out. As you can see behind me, the wreckage is
Thank you for joining us tonight for BBC News, and please tune in tomorrow night, same place, same time, for national news coverage.